Okay, guys, this is Gabriel, my youngest. He's 13. I know he looks a lot younger. I just want to take a quick second to spread some awareness about growth hormone deficiency, which he has, and they're able to give him shots for that, and he's actually grown a lot. So look into that if you think your kid's not growing the way they should be. They could have a growth hormone deficiency. But he's gonna be my cameraman, and we're gonna feed Ken today, and I'm gonna actually explain how I do it, mixing his food and everything. We need 2 containers, one for water, one for food. Again, I do 300 milliliters of water flush. That's what I choose to use. Let me grab another bottle of water. Your doctor will tell you how much to use, though. Which mine told me to use 250, but it didn't seem like it was enough. His urine was always really dark and smelly, and his lips would chapped all the time. It just seemed like he was dehydrated, so I added to the 300, and he seems to do fine on it. He gets 1 can of feeding at a time. It's Kate Farms, 1.4 calories per milliliter, so it's got like extra calories and stuff in it, and it's all plant-based. Make sure you shake it up really well so all the sediments at the bottom get mixed in good and stuff. And then what I like to do is take a little bit of his water and put in there, and then shake it all up real good to make sure that I get everything out of the can. He gets all his food. When he first came home, we were doing 5 cans because he was so underweight and so thin, because the nurses and all the hospitals and rehab facilities kept turning his feedings off because he was too movie, as they said. So he was like down to the low 90s when he got home, and I've gotten him up to 120, but the 5 cans is too much for him now. I think 4 cans a day is pretty good for him. Let's get a syringe and go feed him. Bobby, I'm gonna feed you. Let me get to you too. He's on his side right now. We just changed him. He had a number 2, so he's kind of big mad right now. He doesn't like to be messed with really for anything, but especially being cleaned. I think it's more embarrassment than anything. Okay, you're good. I forgot to mention yesterday too, when you feed them, they need to be at least at a 30-degree angle, like incline, so the food doesn't come back up and they could choke and aspirate and die, which is super scary. So make sure their head is always up at least 30 degrees. But you don't want to go too much either if he's in the bed, because I've noticed that puts a lot of pressure on his stomach. And then I know I said I don't like to push, but sometimes you gotta start to push it to get it to start going, especially when he's on his side like this. Side feedings are the hardest, just because of the way the tube is angled and everything. What was I saying? That if he's up too high in the bed, it'll create too much pressure, I've noticed, on his stomach, and then he'll puke that way too. Ideally, the best way to do a tube feeding is have them sitting upright in a chair. Is honestly the best way to do it. But I rarely get to feed him that way. He used to really like his chair, but not so much anymore. It's gonna go down a lot slower than it did yesterday, just because of the angle that he's at. And I might just go ahead and push it. When you do push it, you want to go very, very slowly and make sure, like you see how there's all this air here? You don't want to push that air into the tube. As soon as the milk is down, you want to stop because, like I talked about yesterday, that'll give them gas and a horribly upset stomach. And that's not something you want to deal with. Trust me. And then just very slow, very slow. Like as if it was gravity, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to just push it all fast through. That probably doesn't feel good for them and could probably cause a lot of issues that I'm unaware of because I don't do it, so. And see how there's even just a little bit of milk in there, but you see bubbles? I don't want to push that because of the bubbles. But even those little bitty bubbles will give him gas. You okay, Bubby? I'm almost done. I'm almost done, love. You hold my hand? I love you. Kisses? I'll put the fan on when we're done. You look a little sweaty. Close this window over here. Maybe it's too much sun on you. Oh, and thank you, Gabriel, for putting the fan on.
Yeah.
I'm wearing his shirt with his GoFundMe on it as well, if you guys want to go check that out. My sisters have been very good about updating every time he's ever had a surgery or anything like that, which he's had a lot, like over 11, I think it was the last time we counted, to just his head alone. So there's that, if y'all want to go check that out, or if you're able to donate, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. And as always, all prayers are welcome. We'll take all the prayers we can get. Luckily, he doesn't get on his side too much like this for feedings. But again, because we had just changed him and it was a pretty big blowout, we had to sit him in the chair over here so we can take all his old sheets off and put all the new, clean, fresh sheets on for him and everything. And then when he got back in, he tends to get on his side like this for a while. Which is good because it keeps him off his left side, which is his weak side, his bad side. And then now we'll do the water flush, and I'll see if it'll go down. It should, because it's water and it's thinner. But if not, then I'm gonna end up having to push that as well. Oops, sorry. Got a little water on your blankie. Yeah, it's going down. Not as fast as I would like it to, but I think we'll, we'll push. If you can see down here, the discoloration. Well, there it goes. It's starting to go back down. But if you ever see stuff coming back out the tube, you want to go ahead and push and get that back down because it's not good for it to come back up. And the water, the same thing, even though it's just water, you don't want to just smash it through really fastly. You want to go slowly. If it was his medicines, one of the larger medicine dosage, like the morning one or the night one, where he has a lot of pills that have to be crushed up, sometimes the chunks are kind of big. And so you do have to push a little faster just to get the chunks of the medicine through the tube so they don't create a blockage, because a blockage is horrible to get out. I luckily have not had a blockage with this new tube that he has. It was replaced over the summertime. And luckily I haven't, because his is a twist top now. And before it wasn't. I had to buy an adapter piece from Amazon to twist it on. But when it got clogged, a couple times that it did clog, I was not unable to unclog it with the twist part. I had to take the twist part off and use just the tube hole and really suck it like with the other syringe. That's not a twist syringe, like a plunger effect, you know, like if you're trying to unplunge your toilet basically, and you just pull back on the syringe and pull back on the syringe until enough of the gunk comes out that you can take water and then flush it through. Let me get in here and close him back up. There you go, baby. Love you.